I'm gonna make this playthrough home part 2. Also, fair warning, I am incredibly sick, so my voice is very raspy. Oh god, I just took my AirPods out. So yeah, oof. Let's get to the big old meat and potatoes. He sipped on his third coffee as he scrolled through an article after article on his laptop. It was almost noon and you were still sound asleep. He'd let you sleep as long as you needed. He had woken you up with your back firmly pressed against his chest and his arms snug around your waist. He hated pulling away from you, but he had to remind himself that he didn't know you and this was probably the last thing you needed. You had been a prisoner almost your whole life. You didn't need someone like him in your life, someone harsh and angry. You have had enough of that already. He had seen it in your dreams. He would be an asshole if he tried anything with you, so you would have settled for a slightly overprotective roommate. He was looking for any article that might be linked to you, trying to find more about you, anything that would confirm your story. Not that he didn't trust you, but he just needed to know. He had been looking for almost an hour and couldn't find anything. He already knew you weren't going to be on any social media, but he couldn't find any articles about a kidnapping or a missing persons report. To be fair, he didn't have much to go on. All he had was your first name, and he didn't even know how old you were. He was about to give up when something caught his eye. It was a picture of you. You were young, maybe 5 or 6, but it was definitely you. The child's mother accused of selling her daughter and making it look like a kidnapping. Police found a suspicious amount of money that had been transferred into her mother's bank account only 2 days before her daughter was supposedly kidnapped. The transaction was untraceable, leading the police to believe that it was an illegal transaction of some kind. The daughter is on record for being an early bloomer whose quirk is dream-related. Such a quirk would be very dangerous in the wrong hands. The detective who made the original report on the kidnapping is now under investigation, as well for corrupting evidence and tampering with the crime scene to help fit the mother's story. And he thought he had a shitty mom. You couldn't help but stare at the picture. You look so happy. You had braided pigtails and a goofy smile, showing off your missing tooth. You were so young. You had no idea that your life was about to turn to shit. You didn't know what your life was going to become. It wasn't fair. You didn't deserve this. The little girl in the picture deserved the chance to be a kid, to grow up, to be normal. But that was taken from you. You would never get that back. Thanks to the article, he now knew how old you were, only a year and a half younger than him. He cringed at the thought that while he and Deco were out exploring as children, you were being forced to work for villains. He slammed his laptop shut when he heard you tiptoe into the kitchen, still only wearing his oversized hoodie and boxers. Your hair was now in a messy bun, and you looked adorable. You were only in the kitchen for a few seconds before you came out with a cup of coffee. You sat down on the couch next to him, crisscross style. You gave the cup a weird look as you smelled it. What? Did I make it too strong or something? You gave him an embarrassed look. I've never had coffee. I've always wanted to, though. There was this book I read once when I was probably around, 13. This girl met her soulmate at a coffee shop. She had written her number down on a napkin, but he accidentally threw it away. He ended up going there every day in hopes of that he'd see her again. At the same time, she was coming to find him, but they kept missing each other. He ended up finding her again because she had a really weird coffee order and he heard someone call it out at the coffee shop. You shrugged. I know it's just a drink and it's so stupid, but I don't know. Bakugou stood up and took the cup out of your hands. You're not going to drink this shit then. Come on, get your pants on. We'll go out and get some real coffee. You tried not to be nervous as you walked a few blocks to the coffee shop. Bakugou was with you, nothing would happen. You kept looking over your shoulder, expecting someone to jump out and say, "Gotcha!" Bakugou could sense that you were a bit stressed, so he put his arms around your shoulder and leaned in. It's okay to be cautious. You have every right to be, but you can't live your life in fear. As long as you're with me, you're safe. Got it? You nod, taking a moment to enjoy his caramel scent invading your personal space. Got it. You kept having to stop every so often to pull your pants up, because you didn't matter how tight you tied the borrowed sweatpants, they were just too big. Bakugou noticed this and paused. Okay, so clothes first or coffee first? You look a bit uncomfortable. I can get you some clothes that actually fit you. You hugged yourself. I wouldn't mind some pants, maybe a few shirts, but I actually really like this hoodie. Do you think you could get me one? Bakugou gave you a soft smile. If you like this so much, you could have my old UA hoodie. I have a ton of them. You gave him a bearing smile and quickly nodded. Thank you. I'm going to wear it every day. He just laughed at you. Really, it's no problem. It's probably best if you wash it every once in a while, though. So, clothes first or coffee? You don't even hesitate. Coffee. A few minutes later, you both were standing in the line in the cutest little cafe. The menu was huge and overwhelming. You nervously tugged on your hoodie sleeve. Looking back and forth at the expensive menu, Bakugou saw your eyes dart back and forth on the menu. That side of the menu is all tea. This side of the menu is all coffee. For your first time, I would go for something sweet. Are there any flavors you prefer? You blushed. I've recently been craving caramel. You didn't need to know that was purely based off the fact that he smelled like caramel last night when he was holding you when he thought you were asleep. He nodded as you approached the front of the line. 2 hot caramel lattes, biggest ones you got. And if you could add some cinnamon, that would be great, thanks. The girl behind the counter gave Bakugou a bright smile that made you uncomfortable. She looked crazy. Why is she looking at him like that? Is there anything else I can get you? Anything at all? You look at him as he handed over some money to pay for the drinks. He seemed like he wasn't paying her any attention. No, that'll be it. Oh, wait. Ewan, did you want anything to eat? Muffin, croissant, bagel? You bite your lip. Muffin sounds amazing. He smiled. Yeah, I agree. He turns back to the girl behind the counter, his smile disappearing. Please add 2 blueberry muffins to my order. The girl smiled flattered as she turned to look at you, obviously not impressed with what she saw. Of course, we'll have it right to you. She rolls her eyes as soon as she didn't think Bakugou was looking, but you saw it, and you had no idea what you could possibly have done to upset this complete stranger. You chose a cozy-looking corner that had a couch and a little table. You were basically buzzing with excitement. You jumped up when you heard them call your order. You were almost about to pick it up from the counter when you stepped on the end of your split pants you were wearing and tripped. Bakugou was up at your side in an instant. Hey, walk much? I know you're excited, but I promise it's nothing to trip over. You knew by his tone that he wasn't teasing you. So you took his outstretched hand and pulled yourself up. Thanks, I'll try to be less embarrassing in the future. The same girl who took your order was now leaning over the pickup counter. Well, I'd start with not wearing baggy-ass clothes in public. She pushes the coffee towards you and plasters on the fakest smile you've ever seen. Have a nice day. Come back soon. Bakugou's hands slammed down on the counter, but somehow when he started talking, he sounded completely calm, which is almost scarier. Look here, little Miss Bitch. I don't think you have a problem with her clothes. I think you have a problem with her wearing my clothes. I've been coming here for years and you always fucking flirted with me. It's not my fault that after all this time, you haven't picked up on the fact that I'm not interested. Next time we come in, you better have one hell of an apology or I'm calling the owner. We go way back. I saved his life once. Whose side do you think he'll take? He looks over at you and hands you your coffee. Here, take this and don't forget your muffin. We're leaving. You felt your face heat up as you left the cafe. Bakugou, you didn't have to do that. I didn't even know her. She can think what she wants. It doesn't bother me. No matter what she thinks, it's probably still better than the truth. There's no way for her to know who I am or what I've been through. He grunted. That's the thing. She doesn't know what you've been through. But it shouldn't matter. You treat people with respect, especially when paying customers in your place of business. She's lucky I didn't get her ass fired. You put your hand on his shoulder. Thank you for defending me. I appreciate it. I truly do. But just know it isn't necessary. He softened a bit. I told you, as long as you're with me, you're safe. And that includes deranged baristas. He didn't know why he was already so attached to you. He knows he met you last night, but that's not true, is it? He's seen you in his dreams for months. In a way, it feels like he's known you so much longer. He gestures toward your coffee. So, do you like it? You brought the to-go cup to your lips and slowly took your first sip. You closed your eyes and hummed in response to the warm, delicious beverage. This is my new favorite thing. Bakugou pretended to be hurt. Oh wow, I thought you said my cooking was the best. You giggle. I can like two things, Bakugou. Coffee is my favorite drink. Your noodles are my favorite food. Alright, I think I can deal with that. Let's get you some clothes. He stopped you before you could take a step, and his hands found your waist. Your heart started to race. Don't freak out, I'm just going to help you a little. His fingers pinched your waistband and rolled it a few times, making the point of your pants a bit shorter as well as tighter. That should be good enough to get you to the store without any more graceful accidents. And it was. You arrived at the clothes store just as you finished your coffee. He held the door open for you and you stepped into what was either heaven or hell. You weren't sure yet. There were clothes everywhere, hanging on the walls, folded on the tables. There was hardly any room to move around the store. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know, it's a lot. But I figured you'd started from scratch, and this place has everything, or so I've been told. He points to the back of the store that had an ambiance of jeans. Let's start there and get you out of those tripping hazards. You step out of the fitting room and show Bakugou a pair you picked. Well, what do you think? I think they fit pretty well. His eyes were immediately glued to your ass. He felt like such a creep even looking, but once he did, it was hard for him to look away. Yeah, they look great. Why don't we get a few pairs? You looked at the price tag. I don't know, they're kind of expensive. He just waved you off. Don't even worry about it. Bakugou sat patiently while you tried on clothes, which was saying a lot for him. Sure, he'd gotten better since high school, but he still wouldn't consider himself a patient person by any stretch of the imagination. Yet, here he was. You came out in a Ground Zero onesie, and he rolled his eyes. Real cute, now put it back. You shook your head. No, I like it, and it's on sale. Please, it's so cozy. The inside's so soft, it's like it's hugging me. He grunted. Was he really jealous of his own article of clothing? His own merch, no less? Whatever. If you want it that bad, let's get it. He stood up from the spot and cracked his back from sitting down for so long. You about ready to go? You nod as you start to pile up all the clothes into a basket by his feet. You had ended up with several pairs of jeans, leggings, and sweatpants, tons of shirts, a jacket, 3 pairs of shoes, a couple of dresses. Yeah, I need to get underwear. He blushed. God damn it, Bakugou, get your shit together. He had seen plenty of naked girls before. He cleared his throat. I think that's over there. I'll go ahead and start getting all the stuff rung up at the counter. He skipped away in the direction to the underwear department while he went to the front and started the checking out process. The woman who started ringing in all your items gave him a sweet smile. You're such a good boyfriend. I saw you over there with her trying on clothes. My fiance would have been complaining the first 10 minutes. He flinched. I'm not her. We're not together. She's my roommate. The woman quirked an eyebrow. Oh, and you make a habit of buying all your roommates hundreds of dollars worth of clothes? Bakugou growled. Just ring this shit up, would ya? He was messing with all the knick-knack stuff by the register, purposely ignoring the growing total. His eyes caught something that he knew he had to get. It was a necklace. It has a rose-cold coffee cup. The smoke swirled in a heart. As cheesy as it was, he just had to buy it for you. He tossed it onto the pile of clothes. This too. She eyes it carefully. Are you sure you two aren't? Hey, I picked some stuff out. I tried to stay pretty practical. Just got a bundle of packs of underwear, 1 nice bra, 2 sports bras. The lady over there helping me pick them out, she kept trying to get me to buy some really uncomfortable looking pair, insisting that you would like it, but they look itchy. You almost choked when you saw the total. Oh my gosh, Bakugou. We need to put some of that back. That's way too much. He shook his head and put his hand on your shoulder. Nope, you need it. You can't keep wearing my clothes. As cute as it is, you need your own. You picked up the necklace that was sitting on the top. Oh, I love this, but I don't remember picking this out. That's because I did. I thought you'd like it. You had thrown your arms around his neck. You're honestly the nicest person in the world. I'm so glad I found you. I don't know what would have happened to me if I hadn't. He made eye contact with the clerk over your shoulder, and she gave him a shit-eating grin, as if to say, roommate, huh? I'm happy you like it. Okay. That was the end of part 2. I'm not gonna record the other ones because I'm too lazy. I usually fall asleep before I have time to record. Oh, it's midnight right now. I'm so tired. So sit in the class up in the corner. Also, yes, I'm incredibly sick. So my voice is raspy and it hasn't decided to go away. I'm not like bed ill sick, so I still have to go to school, but like I'm sick. I gotta get into this bullshit. So yes, also yeah, thank you for like all the views. I was actually really surprised that I actually got over 50 freaking views on the video. I only thought I would get 20 on the first part. So yeah, I'm gonna keep posting these. Be sure to check out the original creator Backtobackbakubabe on Tumblr. They are amazing. as always, have a chill life, I guess.